In today's diverse world, market segmentation is an important strategy for winning the market and remaining competitive. This is in businesses of all sizes and all types. In a previous video, I talked about why market segmentation is at the heart of modern marketing today. Successful and profitable marketing depends on being able to understand and to segment your market effectively. I'm Catherine Ngahu from SBO Research, where we do market research. Majority of our clients tend to adhere to the principles of effective market segmentation, and they are very successful in the marketplace. I take this as a testament to the importance of market segmentation strategy. They use market segmentation strategy because they know that it's a sure way to achieving their desired business goals, whether it's market awareness, market share, or profit goals. In this video, I will talk about the 5 important requirements or conditions for creating effective market segments. This information is useful for business people, marketers, those in sales, as well as students of business and consumer behavior. First, we need to recognize that market segmentation is a strategy you adopt in your business because you want to succeed in attracting and keeping your customers. You want to have a competitive edge in the market and ultimately a profitable business. You want to be able to offer your target customers what they need, how they need it, where they need it, when they need it, and exactly as they need it. You want to reach the customer where they are in a reasonable and affordable manner and to offer them products at reasonable prices. You want to be able to communicate with them effectively and to place your goods in the outlets where they regularly shop. You want to be able to deliver them greater value for money, and you want to make a decent profit for all your effort. To achieve these important business goals, it's important to ensure that the necessary conditions for effective segmentation are met. Segmentation works for both big businesses and SMEs, and most businesses can benefit from this strategy. Market segmentation involves dividing a big market into smaller and distinct markets or subgroups of consumers with more similar tastes and preferences. You can then direct more tailored effort and specific marketing mix strategy suited to each of the distinct segments that you choose to target. Now, let's go straight to the 5 requirements for effective market segmentation. First, it should be accessible. The market should be accessible. Accessibility means that the segment is easy to reach and serve in an economical manner. This means that the location of the segment is accessible through available infrastructure. In most consumer products, the territory served follows the national infrastructure routes. Without suitable means to reach a market segment, it will not be easy to serve the consumers in an economical manner, and this may hurt your competitiveness. However, this is not to say that there are no opportunities in some areas that are difficult to reach. Some businesses focus on those areas that are underserved with infrastructure. It all depends on your business model. So for example, some real estate businesses, especially here in Kenya, tend to focus on the areas that are without roads, electricity, railways, and the like. They seek to go there ahead of others and buy the property for speculative purposes. Their strategy is to buy land cheap and then hold for some time and wait for the infrastructure of the roads to be developed, and then they subdivide and sell smaller plots of quarter-acre, eighth-acre, and the like for good money to an attractive market segment. This strategy works very well if you have other information on where the government plans to build infrastructure, and it also works when the company is able to keep buying and rolling out plots in different properties over time. Because as you are buying this one of the future, you have one that you have already subdivided and are selling. As you're selling, you buy another one, not to wait until the plots are finished, so that you have a continuous pool of properties that you're offering your market. I must say that this strategy of buying where there is no infrastructure is not a strategy for the faint-hearted. You must be willing to wait a long time, and it's not within your control what the government will do. And this depends a lot on your risk appetite. For the majority of businesses, they choose to focus on the currently accessible segments and follow where the people are reachable using the current means of transport and the current infrastructure. This way, you can tap into your ready market, starting with the low-hanging fruits. You know, we always talk about get the low-hanging fruits first, where there is least complexity. Second, the market should be actionable. It should be actionable. This means that it's possible for your business to act on the opportunity presented by this segment. Basically meaning that the segment is structured in such a manner that you can be able to act on it and to exploit the opportunity to present through marketing. It should be possible for your business to attract and serve the people in that segment. You have to be open-minded in assessing actionability, actually, because it's not always obvious. One of the best stories to illustrate the need to be open-minded is a story of the shoes market in Africa a century ago, as told by Ken Barnett. As the story goes, some European manufacturers of shoes sent representatives to Africa at the end of the 19th century to assess the market for shoes. And many went back with the same response, that the people there do not wear shoes. Therefore, there is no market. This is except the representative sent by one company, one shoe company, the Butter Shoe Company, who returned with a different report which said that the people there don't wear shoes. Therefore, there is a big market for our shoes. Basically meaning they perceived the situation differently. They were more open-minded in their interpretation of what not having shoes meant for the organization. They actually went further and provided ideas about what they would need to do in order to make that market viable. They even looked at the products that they could do better trade with and that kind of thing, because they were able to see, even if there is no cash economy, they could trade off, they could do better trade and stuff like that. That's how butter came to be a dominant brand in Africa. Today, many businesses have created innovative business models to serve markets that were previously viewed as not actionable. The approach taken to serve the so-called the bottom of the pyramid market demonstrates this kind of open-mindedness. The most common is the one of breaking bulk to the smallest product sizes, what has come to be known in Kenya as the Kadogo economy, meaning small economy. This has made it possible to serve new segments that were previously considered not actionable because they were seen as not able to afford the goods. The companies that understood this market and applied this concept early became very successful. They became competitive and profitable. Think of the small packages and the small sachets sold in some shops and kiosks for single use or for a number of uses, such as the bar soap cut into small tablets for a single use. Or literally every product, there is little sugar packages, little packages of all kinds of products. And of course, the low denomination airtime is also a good example. And the like. Again, you can even see examples from the payment models where the company accepted that the customer could not be able to pay the whole price at a go, but that they could pay over time as they were using. And a good example is M-Copper for solar lamps, which allows customers to pay over time in very small amounts. This succeeds because many people work on piecework jobs or day projects that are paid when they work, daily or weekly, and the work is not even assured. So they have to buy goods for each day as the money becomes available. This segment cannot do monthly shopping like those employed in government, companies, and NGOs with a monthly paycheck. Indeed, in Kenya, as in many other places, I imagine, those with a monthly paycheck are a minority. Any business that fails to recognize this, particularly in Africa, will be leaving a lot of money on the table on a regular basis. The third is that it should be substantial. The market should be substantial. The market needs to have a large enough population with sufficient money to spend and sufficient diversity for it to be capable of being divided into sizable segments. The segments must be big enough to be profitable. That is, in terms of people with the ability to buy, and it should also have enough people to be viable to serve with a unique marketing strategy. You also need to look at the concentration of the people to ensure that the segment has adequacy to make a reasonable return for your investment. In Kenya, for example, some of the arid and semi-arid areas are large in terms of land mass, but may not have large enough population concentrated in small areas to make segmentation work for certain categories of goods and services. Another thing is that if the members of the population have no ability to buy, then this is viewed as an unviable area to target. You need to ensure that the members of the segment have enough money to be able to buy enough as to make the segment viable. Fourth, it should be stable. The market should be stable. Stability is a measure of how consistent the behavior or characteristics of the segment are. Their behavior should be constant for a reasonable period of time to enable you to develop a suitable marketing program that will benefit them for a reasonable period of time. Stability means that the needs of the market segment are not likely to change before the program is developed and implemented to benefit them. That is, the behavior and characteristics of this segment will last long enough to allow for the rollout of the marketing mix strategy. Some fashion and fad products don't last long enough to generate enough sales before the segment has moved to a new fad. A good example is the teenager segment. They follow fads which make it unviable to work to develop new marketing strategies because of the unpredictable behavior or the very fast changes that they make. But with an open mind, a model can be created to roll out at a faster rate and be able to catch those fads and those nuances as they change, because they change from one thing to the next. One thing to the next. Again, there is the fast fashion strategy adopted by some businesses. This is the concept of replicating catwalk trends and high fashion designs and mass producing them at high speed and offering them at a low cost to the market. Fifth, it should be measurable. To succeed in market segmentation, the market of interest should be possible to identify and measure. This means that it's possible to assess its size and purchasing power. The segments within it must be easy to identify and quantify. So these are the 5 conditions that will ensure effective market segmentation. The market should be accessible, actionable, substantial, stable, measurable. Do like this video and share it with someone you think might benefit from it. It could be a marketing student, a business student in a university. So keep watching. Thank you and all the best. We all need to elevate our mindset at this time.